right, well, the small business lending bill has just been in law for 2 weeks, and the price tag is $30 billion. In fact, Republican House Leader John Boehner said the legislation puts taxpayers on the hook for even more bailouts. So if that's the case, some are saying maybe now's the time or in the next Congress to repeal this law. Or at the end of the day, does it end up working out after all? Rob Basso is with us, Basso on Business. And in Washington, D.C., Bob Coleman, small business expert, editor of the Coleman Report. Your position, Rob, on whether or not we just need to get rid of the small business bill or law, or does it make sense?
Well, what I'm hearing, every month we hold events with over 50 small business owners. And what they're clearly telling me is that the items included in this bill are not going to help their business day to day.
What does it not have that it should? Why is it not going to help?
Well, part of the challenge is they don't believe it's a job creator. If small business owners need to grow their businesses, the best way to do that is to add employees. But they can't add employees unless they know for certain that they have business lined up to warrant it. So really, that lies the problem. They don't have enough orders lined up to actually fulfill the needs of the
There's
plan.
not the demand there to
no,
instigate hiring and have it take place. Bob, what's your view on this bill specifically? This talk that we're having here about possibly getting rid of it in the next Congress or reworking it, does that make sense, or do you think the bill will work out?
You know, the bottom line is we want to get money to Main Street. We bailed out Wall Street, $787 billion with a B. There's only $500 million with an M for small business.
So you want more money, more than this?
No, what they want is to be able to have access to capital. How we're going to get out of this recovery, how we're going to get to recovery is one job at a time. Small business with cash in the bank are going to take advantage of investments. Your previous guest was a great analysis of that. They see investment opportunities, and they're willing to take the risk. They're willing to be entrepreneurs. We need to support cash for Main Street. I understand the political argument. It's a tough argument. But the recovery is going to come from small business. That's where jobs are being created.
Well, there's the debate, right, is how do we do that, and what role, if any, does government play in creating that demand that you say, Rob, is not there? Maybe it's only going to be time that cures that. Maybe over time the demand will come back and businesses will start hiring again. Or maybe some of these jobs are gone forever. I don't know. But what's the role of government? Does government have a role in stimulating that demand?
What my constituents tell me is that government's role is not to create jobs for Americans. Americans need to create their own jobs. They're supposed to put Americans in a position.
How do they do it?
They do it by not being involved. Over-regulation and over-taxation on small businesses is causing them great harm.
So you don't need them throwing money at small businesses?
Throwing money at small businesses is absolutely not going to help.
Okay, Bob, what do you think? Because you were bringing up earlier that we've already thrown tons of money at big business. Is Rob right that we don't need to throw the money at small business? Government's got to get out of the way, or no?
I agree with Rob on that one point. 40% of small business are concerned about taxes and regulation. Only 30% are concerned with the number one thing. How do I increase sales? And that's the number one concern. I mean, when you only have 1 out of 3 businesses worried about increasing sales, something is definitely wrong in the economy. But bottom line, Rob, we need to have access to capital for these Main Street businesses.
Well,
that's where jobs are going to be created.
Bob, I agree with some of what you said, but I'm not sure that there's not available capital. I'm a founder of a small community bank. We actually have capital to lend. Part of the challenge is some of the people that are coming to the bank aren't lend-worthy. If you can't repay the debt, they're not going to give you the loan. And I think sometimes Americans
advocating.
Well, Bob, I think sometimes Americans feel that, oh, this $30 billion is now supposedly free, that the federal government is supposed to be helping small community banks. The reality is nothing's for free. You have to have built a business that is sufficient enough to warrant somebody lending you money. You have to put your name on that dotted line. Without doing that, it's not going to work.
You know, and absolutely, and as a community banker, you're having access to those funds, and that's what we need. And you're absolutely right. This money is going to be paid back. Yeah, there's going to be a small minority of losses that are going to be accounted for. But for those credit-worthy entrepreneurs, that's where we need to get the capital. You and I agree on that.
All right, you agree on that. It's just a debate over how you stimulate that demand, which we both or all agree is not quite there yet. Rob and Bob, thanks to both of you for coming on. Appreciate it very much. Take it.
Thank you, Colin.